Good evening, everybody, and welcome tonight to the Monday evening live 9 p.m. update in regard to what is happening with the war in Ukraine. Nice to see everyone here. Jerry Bell, Donna Adams, ready to know the truth. So appreciate these reports. I do want to say, Jeremy Teeple, welcome from Canada. And over on another channel, I'm streaming on J the Log. I just wanted to say hi to you. Watching from Manila, Philippines. So growing and expanding. Thank you guys for doing what you do. And yes, make sure that you are doing your part, which is to be here. And we're giving, we're caring. And Bill Terry watching from Rhode Island tonight. Rhode Island in the house. I even know that people right now are trying to watch on a Southwest Airlines flight from Las Vegas, Knoxville, Tennessee. Yep. Thank you guys. Keep chatting, keep saying hello. It all helps. Josh Reyes, God bless you, brother, from beautiful state of California. And I'm going to be really good. Folks, I'm going to tell you something right now. I have the most incredible video to share with you. So if you look here, there's a lot of my clocks and different things. 53 minutes, I'm going to have us out of here. I've got a full night of updates. I'm waiting on something from Zhenya right now. We were in communication 2 hours ago, but I've lost communication with him right now. No need for alarm. Everything is good, but I lost communication with him at 6:40. Shirley Phelps, welcome from Washington State. We had been working together all day, and Bob Pickerly, welcome to you. So I'm watching everything here. But I was supposed to receive from data from Zhenya, and I know that they are struggling over there with internet. It's starting to happen. Arlen Preston, California. Wesley Parsons, welcome tonight. Ron Moore checking in from Reno, Nevada. So going to be interesting. We'll see. Zhenya knows I'm on here for the next 51 minutes, and he may pop in. I hope so. We've been putting together a video clip of the rehab centers, the refugee centers, and Annie's doing great, Rhonda Hodge. She's watching right now. So you may not know this, folks, but today, right here, see that? What's a nice camera? Third center is now open. Khmelnytsky is completely overwhelmed with refugees, and Zhenya stepped out by faith today and secured a third refugee center. So that triples the expense, triples the food, triples the infrastructure, driving, vans, permissions, everything that goes along with that. But folks, that just tells you how overwhelming this is. I talked to Rostic today. They're overwhelmed. So this is unprecedented. So we'll keep up with it. I really hope, and don't worry, everything's cool. He was supposed to be here on with me and get me that video clip, but he is in the middle of a war zone and running 3 refugee centers. I guess I'll give him a little slack. Plus, it's 4:09 a.m. But we'll see. You never know. Charles Powell, welcome tonight. Get ready for some truth down in Georgia. So, folks, let's just start here. Let's get going. And I'm going to update you guys on the battle, the war, what's going on. But I want to start first here tonight. Each night, I bring you Zelensky's address. He addresses the Ukrainian people every morning. He addresses the Ukrainian people every evening, like a real leader should, and a real president and a real director of the armed forces. So the media mess that Zelensky has left Ukraine and that he has abandoned his people is nothing but lies. And I want to encourage you tonight, do not fall for the media lies. I've been talking to a friend just now in Texas. It's just unbelievable. It's really not, to be honest with you. The media is so powerful, and that's why you're here with me every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, because we're just going to tell you the truth. But so I'm going to tell you right now, no matter what you see, read, or hear, Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, he's leading that nation in an unbelievable way. He received 2 international awards today, which are irrelevant right now, but he's worthy of them. And he is not only in Ukraine, but he's in Kyiv, and he's not in a bunker. He's in his office. And I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to tell you, translate it for you, just a couple of the key points that Zelensky made today in his statements to the Ukrainian people. So is Zelensky in Ukraine? Let's see.
Ось вечірній Київ. Наш офіс.
I'm in Kyiv. Our
Вечір.
office.
Ви знаєте,
I'm getting ready to
Ми
give the
звикли
evening
говорити.
update.
понеділок день важкий. В країні війна, тож кожен день
Now he flips
понеділок.
off the mobile phone and he starts
Зараз
addressing
звикли до того,
the
що
Ukrainian people.
кожен такий день кожен такий день і вечір.
Listen. Oh, by the way, a new blue shirt, yellow here. Every night, going to be blue and yellow. And listen, you may want to send me some because I will wear the same shirt every night. I really will. So he says, I'm here. He walks from his office. He shows the picture of the nighttime just a few minutes ago outside his office window, walks to his desk, and begins to address the Ukrainian people. I won't even mention that he sounds exactly like Clint Eastwood. I mean, I'm just ready for him to say, go ahead, make my day. I'm unbelievable. So let's get to it. So much tonight. Zelensky, these are the main things he said in his speeches today. He said to the world, listen to me, there is no blood on our flag. There are no and never will be black spots, no swastikas. The Ukrainian flag is the land, peaceful, fertile, golden, and without tanks. The sky is peaceful, clear, blue, and without rockets. So it was, and so it will be. Now, maybe, you see this all the time. Everybody's wearing all of these flags, but do you guys know what's behind the Ukrainian flag? I will tell you. The blue on the top represents a beautiful blue sky. The gold, yellow on the bottom represents the fertile land full of harvest. Sunflowers there. I have been there so many times in the summer, and that's exactly what you see is blue over yellow. You're riding along a rural road, and you look at this just incredibly large field full of sunflowers. And when they're in the right bloom or whatever, I'm not a botanist, and they're all yellow, this flag is literally what you see. The golden fields and the blue sky. That is why you hear references made all the time in Ukrainian speeches or Zelensky or other people where they talk about the sky and the land. It's because this is what represents their flag. So a little bit of trivia there for you that will help you understand. He also said, I'm calling for new sanctions against the Russian Federation, a boycott of Russian exports, in particular, the rejection of oil and oil products, and a boycott of imports. And I'm speaking directly to you, the United States. The guy's not playing. We're still trying to figure out. Ridiculous. He then stated and reaffirmed that NATO has informed him that they will not close the skies over Ukraine. And the reason they stated was because they are responsible for the lives of Europeans. How would you like to be in a nation where very quickly we could control the skies and the organization that guaranteed your protection according to the Minsk agreement that is now destroyed, that says your sovereign borders will never be taken? You give up your weapons, and if you're ever invaded, we will defend your land defensively. And the world has failed on that agreement. And then you have to listen to the EU and NATO and the United States tell you, we're not going to protect the skies over your land. We're not going to do what we guaranteed you that we would do. I don't know about you, Mr. Zelensky. I don't think I would join that organization. I would maybe go find some other allies. I recommend Israel. They'd be really good. Go be a strengthened ally with Israel, because at least they won't lie to you. I hope this changes. I want to look at the map and give you an update. So here is the most updated. This is a battle map. His character integrity makes me want to move to Ukraine. How I long for such a leader in our country. God bless. We've had them, and we pray we'll have them again in the future. So here's what's going on. The red shaded areas are Russian-controlled territory along the south, along the east, and along the north. The 4 golden stars or little circles that I've put there, they are the main areas of battle right now. And there was a new front opened here today. So not only Kyiv, but also, of course, Kharkov. So those are your top 2. Down, bottom right, Mariupol is still a disaster. I will talk more about that in just a minute. But now, Odessa, which is a southern port, huge, beautiful city, is now being attacked. The reason that is wanted, I'm going to show you. If you look at the map, you see the red rectangle I put there, and you see the little territory in the red. Well, that is a region of territory, or a region that lays between Moldova and it lays between Ukraine. Small little strip of territory there that is called Transnistria region. It's Russian controlled, straight out of Moscow. In fact, missiles are now confirmed being fired from that region. Now, folks, I've been there. It's not unexpected. I expected this, but if you look at the map very closely, you're looking at the attempt to surround from the north, the east, and the south, and then to put the squeeze on. If you look directly north, you see right to the right of the green marker is Vinnytsia. That's the airport that was destroyed yesterday by cruise missiles from the Black Sea. You also see the left side of Kyiv there, Zhytomyr, and you see that we are now approaching Khmelnytsky. Folks, the green circle with the plus sign in it, that is where the refugee centers and all of our ministries and works, humanitarian aid, is functioning. It's getting close, and we need to continue to pray. So that's the update. Literally, I popped that map off of here. Is there danger of the nuclear plants exploding, or are they being maintained? Okay, so I can answer that. Let's go here, actually. Come over to this map. So right here in the north is Chernobyl, right in the middle of your screen, Chernobyl. That's where the 86 disaster happened. That is due north of Kyiv, 65 miles as the crow flies. That is under Russian control. They are using it as a military base. The second nuclear power station is right here, right below Zaporozhye. If you look down right in the middle of your screen, you see Energodar, right in the middle, right to the right of that Nikopol. There is the largest nuclear power plant in all of Europe right there, and that also is under Russian control, and they are using it as a military base. One would hope that it doesn't come to another disaster of that nature that happened in Chernobyl. And that wasn't from war. That was just a mistake and a meltdown. So is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible, 100%. And the reason I'm confident on that answer is because we didn't think this was possible. We thought that maybe, okay, they're going to try and annex Lugansk and Donetsk Oblast, and that's it. But we're in full out war. So we have to recognize that anything is possible at this point. All right, let's keep rolling here. So much stuff tonight. It's been a very, very large day of events. Second thing is the third round of negotiations unfolded today. And I put a little headline there. While these negotiations were happening, I'm going to show you what was happening simultaneously. But these talks ended in failure. The only thing that was agreed upon was the potential of some logistic cooperation for the evacuation of citizens. Talk more about that in a moment. So no results, only minor logistics. But I put there, while that meeting was happening this afternoon, this is what was happening in the Zhytomyr and Kyiv regions. That is the fourth rocket, he says. It's heading to Kyiv. Just look at the terrain, folks. Very rural, very beautiful. Of course, it's winter. Just wait. Here comes the fifth one. Here comes the fifth one. Fifth missile going to Kyiv. So, folks, while they were negotiating, missiles were flying overhead. That is not bombs dropping from a bomber. Those are cruise missiles flying across and heading toward Kyiv. That is what is really happening. 10 a.m. Moscow time, Russia came out and says, okay, we will cooperate with the humanitarian assistance and the evacuation of people. But this is the stipulation. They must be evacuated to Russia or Belarus, to which Vereshchuk, who is the deputy prime minister, immediately said, get out of our face. No way. We're not sending our beautiful Ukrainian people to Russia or Belarus. You invaded us. Do you think we're stupid? So that was a no. Immediately, that, of course, was turned down. Immediately after that, Lavrov, that is the foreign minister of Russia, they're still calling it a special military operation. The goal of Russia's special military operation is to stop any war that could take place on Ukrainian territory or that could start from there. Reiterated today, you can see at the bottom, 7:28 p.m., March the 7th. I don't think they get it. They're not going to get it, not the regime. After the third meeting today, Daniel Kuleba, who is the foreign minister of Ukraine on the right, and Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia on the left, have potentially agreed to possibly have a communication on Thursday, March the 10th, in Antalya, Turkey. And you think, man, why are they going to Turkey? Listen, this is not like you living in the United States and getting on a plane and flying from Pennsylvania to California. These nations are not big. I mean, Russia is, but these nations are small. I mean, a flight from Kyiv to Antalya is an hour. It's nothing. I mean, I've left from Kyiv and went to Israel, and it was hour and a half flight. These places are close, folks. This stuff can change in a New York minute. It's not like you're moving 1,000 miles and all of this logistics. These are very tight areas. We're just so used to living, for those of you that are in America, because now we're everywhere, or Canada, or Philippines, or wherever you're watching from tonight. We're used to these big spread out areas. These areas are not spread out. They're very, very close. So potentially on Thursday, that will be happening. Now, I want to give you some reality. This is the Vinnytsia airport. I have been right there many times. They had an update today after the launch of the missiles yesterday to destroy it. They have so far pulled 15 people from the rubble. 9 are killed, and the search is ongoing. I'll just give you a flavor of what that feels like. This is Vinnytsia Airport, 1 hour from Khmelnytsky. Now, folks, that's complete devastation. That airport is gone. And you need to understand something. That's not a military airport. That's a commercial airport. Gone. And they are still locating people and finding them. That is the devastation that is real. Bop over to here. I don't care what you read. I don't care what CNN says, Fox, Newsmax, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. As of this very minute, airplanes are not being delivered to Ukraine yet. Poland is ready to deliver airplanes to Ukraine now. They're there. They're right beside them. But the United States is dragging their feet. Once again, thank you to our wonderful leadership in Washington that needs Jesus and needs to be saved. And I will try to be polite. It's the United States holding this up. Poland's ready to give their aircraft. Folks, Poland can't give away their airplanes until they have replacements. Why? They're right beside the war. They have to be able to defend their own land too. And Poland, a part of NATO, says, give us planes. U.S. says, we'll resupply. Send your planes to Ukraine. It has not happened as of 9:29 p.m. Eastern, March the 7th, 2022. That's a fact. Now, wonderful members of Congress are pressing the Biden administration to facilitate immediate transfer of fighter jets to Ukraine from NATO and Eastern Europe. Head of Foreign Affairs Committee, Bob Menendez. He's written letters to Anthony Blinken of Blinken, Winken, and Nod. Absolute disgrace of a Secretary of State. And to Lloyd Austin. I think he got lost today on the way to the Pentagon. I'm not sure, but it's ridiculous. We have enough planes to float a battleship. We have 20 of them, battleships to float. Send Poland some airplanes and let them resupply their pilots in Ukraine. You won't close the sky, at least help them with equipment. This is why Zhenya said the other night in the video that I've asked you to watch and share, oh, big country, you give us Technic. The Technic's not coming. And when the Technic does come, it's not the best. It's just lower level Technic. Folks, this is the truth of what's happening. Ukraine's being bombed right now. Fighters are being blown out of the sky, and they are equally returning and doing wonderful damage against the invaders. Unbelievable. God's with them. There's no question. But we have to do our part. Come on. How hard is it to give a plane? It's not hard. I mean, how hard is it? While they're just getting pounded. Unbelievable. But it's the truth. And right now, no planes. Ukraine dispatches first foreign fighters today. 20,000 soldiers from 52 nations have went across the border and are fighting with Ukraine. They were dispatched today. God bless those 20,000. Meanwhile, in the United States, many of our Defense Department brassy or uppity people who are clueless are telling our fighters and our veterans that have told the United States military, we want to go to Ukraine and help. No, you can't go. They're going to go anyway. I can tell you. God bless them. Get over there, boys. Get over there. Now, everybody's screaming. Now listen, Russia's screaming, Ukraine, they're getting foreign fighters. They're getting foreign fighters. Hello, Russia equally welcoming foreign fighters. Those are standing right there. Those guys are from Syria. Folks, do you see what's going on? You see all the nations coming together? It's happening right in front of our eyes. Syrian fighters are being welcomed to join the Russian military, and it's happening. Meanwhile, in Melitopol, we've been talking about Melitopol. Now, Melitopol is in a region of Ukraine that is under Russian control. Maybe you need to understand this, and I know we have lots of veterans in here and wonderful men and women who have served our country well, and tonight we salute you and we thank you for your service to all the American veterans. God bless you. But in a war, just because a territory is conquered, and I've studied this a lot in World War II history, just because it's under control of the other side or the enemy, and it's behind the enemy lines, does not mean that the citizens of that nation are not still there. They are. They're trying to get out, or they decided to stay. So in the occupied territory, the city of Melitopol, where many big battles have been fought over the last 12 days, I want you to see the spirit of the Ukrainian people today in the face of their occupiers, peacefully assembled. And this is what they did. Folks, does that give you some insight? In the face of their occupiers, singing peacefully. Unbelievable people. And that is why we're here every night until this ends. And even then, we're just getting started. That place is destroyed. Unbelievably destroyed. Today, I would like to tell you good news. 2,000 people were rescued from Irpin during the negotiations on the third round when those cruise missiles were flying over. 2,000 people were rescued from Irpin. Folks, it's just a suburb of Kyiv. It's a very important area to get them out because the Russian army there is very, very heavily represented. And one of the reasons that I wanted the stuff that Zhenya and I was working on today, and now hopefully that we'll have it tomorrow night for you. It's unbelievable. But tonight, a couple of hours ago, I spoke with one of those 2,000 people who were evacuated from Irpin. And the money that you have sent, and that we've worked and partnered together to get there, was feeding people tonight from Irpin. They were sleeping on a warm bed. They had food. They had communication. They had a hot shower because of what we're doing as a labor of love. I have a little footage of the rescue in Irpin. Quite impressive here. This is Irpin today. And some of these people are now in Khmelnytsky. They are walking.
7 марта.
7th of March.
Люди евакуюються.
People are finally getting out.
Переходьте на цю сторону. Бистріше переходьте.
Please go quickly. Please go quickly. Fast, fast, fast.
Юра, давай бегом!
That's the reality. That's the reality. We're making a huge difference, folks. How many of you have ever heard of Vitaly Klitschko? If you're a boxing fan, you should. He was the world heavyweight champion, of course. He is a multi millionaire. But maybe you did or did not know. He is also the mayor of Kyiv. What? The heavyweight boxing champ's the mayor of Kyiv? Yeah. So can you imagine? You've got Vladimir Zelensky as the president and Vladimir Klitschko as the mayor of Kyiv? You want to mess with those two guys? Good luck. You would think Klitschko would run away. He's a millionaire. Go to some island somewhere and forget his people. You do not know Ukrainian people. I have a little bit of Vitaly Klitschko, the heavyweight boxing champion of the world, now the mayor of Kyiv, fighting alongside his people. This is translated for you. I've got the words in English at the bottom. Check this out. This is a leader.
Зараз ідуть бої в цей момент, цю секунду. зараз в Бучі, в Ірпіні, в Гостомелі. Наші хлопці зараз іде бій в цей момент. І одне можу сказати, що з Києва ми нікуди не підемо. Кожен будинок, кожна вулиця, кожний блокпост буде стояти насмерть, якщо це буде потрібно. Ніхто не хоче вмирати, ніхто не хоче загинути, але якщо потрібно буде, ми будемо захищати в першу чергу наших дітей, наші сім'ї, наші будинки руйнують, наше майбутнє хочуть вкрасти, нас хочуть взяти в полон. І цього не відбудеться. Я переконаний в тому. І дякую кожному патріоту, який сьогодні готовий захищати свої домівки і наше спільне майбутнє.
Good grief. Folks, where else are you going to see this stuff? Please share, like, comment, and tell your friends. It's growing more. I had lots of people message me today and say, I've told my boss, I've told my friends, more people are coming to the YouTube. They got to watch. They want to give. They want to know the truth. Thank you. It works. Just day by day. I was going to use a sling there, blow this thing up. I'm not going to use that. We're going to grow and grow and grow and get the truth out and support these wonderful people. How would you like that to be your mayor? The heavyweight boxing champion of the world. He says, nobody wants to die, but we'll fight to the death. And we are here to protect our children. He said, Nasha dite. Nasha simi, I nasha narod, I nasha zimla. You have to understand what that means. He's saying it's our children, it's our families, it's our land, it's our country. It goes against the narrative that is coming from Vladimir Putin that says it's not your land. It's Russia's land. It's not your families, your Russian families. That is why Klitschko and that is why Zelensky are coming back and always using the word nasha, 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 our. That's the reason behind it. So you get the truth on it. That's the deal there. Now, a new updated statistic today coming out of Europe that if this continues at the level it is, we're looking at the potential of 5 million refugees pretty quickly. And I think those numbers are accurate. Just talking to Zhenya, talking to Rostislav that are there on the ground working with the refugees, it is overwhelming what is happening. And, you know, right now between 200,000 and 400,000 people are trapped in Mariupol. Folks, that's a lot of people. And it's all over the nation of Ukraine. And you say, well, all these people are leaving. In fact, let me show you. I've got a picture here taken today. You want to see the reality? This is Kharkov today. Remember, Kharkov's a city with over 1 million people. You do not move 1 million people easily. This is the Kharkov train station. Trying to board the evacuation trains. Folks, that is a sea of people trying to get on the evacuation trains. That is why we are looking at the potential of 5 million refugees. Now, a lady in Kharkov today posted a video. Her house was destroyed. She says a bad word at the beginning, but you do not understand it. If you're here and you understand the language, my apologies. But I'll show it because 99.9% of you will not understand. She just keeps saying, this is my home. This is my home. It's destroyed. It's gone. This is my home.
Вот вам, блядь, дорогие родственники, сука, ваш ебаный русский мир, блядь. Дорогая мама, как ты мне, блядь, говоришь, что у нас нихуя нету. Вот мой дом, ты видишь, блядь, ты здесь была, ты видела мой дом. Вот тебе, пожалуйста, на, посмотри, как мы сидим, блядь, сейчас в подвале, потому что у нас просто пиздец.
So, folks, that's the reality. Just a lady telling her story on her phone today about her home that is gone. So, where are all of these refugees going? Poland, the rest of Europe, Hungary, Slovakia, Moldova, Romania, Russia, Belarus. I want you to look in the fifth spot there, the nation of Moldova. They're doing a wonderful job. I've been in Moldova many, many, many times. We have wonderful relationships there in Moldova, and they are serving so well the Ukrainian people. Kishinev, wonderful city, wonderful friends. But I want you to know something. Moldova is equally struggling. It's a very, very, very poor nation. And they're giving everything they have to serve. But they're even saying, and they're not going to stop. These are such wonderful people, but they're saying, listen, we're being overwhelmed. We need more help, more help, more help for the humanitarian aid side. So that's the reality. Now, I want to tell you tonight about a nation that is unbelievable. This is the nation of Poland. They're going to get a big cheer. The Polish prime minister came out this afternoon, and he was very clear on the relationship between Poland and Ukraine. His name is Mateusz Morawiecki. What a name. He spoke about how Poland accepts and will continue to accept Ukrainian refugees. Here's a couple of the bullet points from his speech today. He said more than 1 million refugees have already arrived in Poland. Most of them are women and children, while men defend their land. Secondly, he said Ukrainians will be able to legally spend 18 months in Poland. Citizens of Ukraine will be able to work safely in Poland. The period of stay can be extended for another 18 months. In total, citizens of Ukraine will be able to stay in Poland for up to 3 years. Polish people, hosting Ukrainian refugees under the roof, meaning in your house, will receive financial support from the state, about $8.70 per day, $263 per month, and that's per refugee. Ukrainians also will have access to public services on a general basis. They can have some health care. Folks, a big cheer for the nation of Poland. You know, Poland gets joked a lot, and it's ridiculous. Let me tell you something about Poland. Yes, I've been there, and I love it. It is one of the most beautiful nations on the planet. Their infrastructure is unbelievable. Their road and highway systems. I mean, honestly, it's like you're riding on glass. It's just, and they have bad winters. They just do it right. So big cheer out for the Polish nation and their leadership. God's going to bless you, Poland. You're doing a wonderful thing. Thank you. Today, the price of natural gas rose 50% in European markets. Now, listen. In 1 hour. One hour, the price of gas rose 50%. And you say, okay, well, that's the squeeze. Well, it's affecting Europeans now. You understand? This is a global economic fiasco, disaster. You're seeing it at your pump. All you've got to do is turn on Facebook, and every other post is people who are posting pictures of how much it costs them to fill their gas tank up. That's every other post. Or the other post is people are putting out there, well, I was approved for a loan today, so on Friday I will be able to fill up my gas tank. The world is feeling it. And this is why the Ezekiel 38 narrative is so strong right now, because it's that Ezekiel 38 war that is not happening right now, but the stage is being set for it, is an economic war. Yes, it is military. Yes, it is fighting. Yes, God is going to drag the enemy down to Israel, and he's going to reveal his glory. But the enemy comes to plunder. Think about that for a moment. To plunder, to loot, to take of the riches of Israel. Who's going to need to do that? Those who are in need of the riches. And right now, we're seeing an economic disaster around the world, and specifically major in Europe, Russia, and that entire region. Now, with that said, Poland, you got a big cheer. But Hungary, you get a big boo. You may not know this, but in January, Hungary signed a long-term gas supply deal with Russia. It was a 15-year agreement. Hungary receives 90% of their fuel from Russia. Hungary came out today and stated very clearly, we will vote no in regard to Ukraine joining the EU, and we will vote no in regard to NATO getting involved on a higher level. We are in relationship with Russia for 15 years to receive our gas. You can see how convoluted this is and how much of a mess it is. So what are we going to do in America? The price of gas you're seeing at your pumps, what are we going to do? Biden administration considering stopping the imports of Russia, unless it's happened since I've been on the air for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever it is. Not only that, Biden administration is weighing easing sanctions on Venezuela to isolate Russia and increase oil production. Folks, I'm just going to say one thing about this, and I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Does he know that Venezuela is a very evil regime? And does he know, President Biden and Secretary of State and the Defense Department and economists up there in D.C., did anybody tell you that Maduro and Putin are best friends and they're in an alliance? So you're going to stop potentially buying Russian oil. But all you're going to do now is go and buy it from Venezuela? You know, sometimes I wish that I could just rip it right now and tell the truth. But I do not want to take off the pastoral robe that I wear lightly sometimes. But I really want to right now. That is the dumbest idea I've ever heard of in my life. You're going to potentially stop buying from Biden, but you're going to go buy from his best crony friend Maduro in Venezuela and tell them to supply more so we strengthen the Venezuelan economy, and then the Venezuelans send all their money to Russia. It's very ignorant. Very ignorant. Sir, open the Keystone Pipeline and unleash America's power to supply ourselves. We do not need oil from Russia. We do not need oil from Venezuela. We do not need oil from Saudi Arabia. We do not need oil from the United Arab Emirates. All we've got to do is take care of ourselves and then bless the world. Get out of our faces. You're clueless. Stupid. While our friends and families are being bombed, you're trying to make an agreement with a convict in Caracas, Venezuela. Shame on you, man. Shame on you. Pathetic. Trying to protect your interest in your family and all the mess that you have dealt with for 47 years in public office as a criminal. You want to know who the biggest oligarch and criminal in the world is right now? You're equal, dude. You can't complain about Russian oligarchs and Putin when you're trying to have agreements with Maduro. I better move because I'm getting fired up. You're going to hear over the next couple of days that the Russian foreign minister has declared that the reason the United States is being slow to move is because we have biological warfare labs in Kyiv and Odessa. Folks, when you see this in the news coming up over the next couple of days, those are lies. The United States does not have biological warfare factories in Kyiv and Odessa. Those are lies. We have healthcare labs in Kyiv and Odessa. I've been to those cities many times. It's there to work on healthcare throughout Ukraine and throughout the region to help with disease. They're not undercover. They're not biological warfare factories. You're going to be hearing it. Do not listen to it. It's not true. All right. We got 4 minutes left, and I asked you guys to hang around. You're gonna be smiling. And let me see here. I do not have Jenya tonight. I will keep checking on him. Don't worry. Just wanted to check over here. No. So let me show you this. And today, these were some pictures. On the left is the president of France, Macron, in dire straits, trying to figure out what to do for the EU and this situation. On the right is the mayor of Mykolaiv, Ukraine, large city that's being bombed and attacked and battles going on. And he has his bottle of water. He's got his AR behind him up against the flag. And he's got his feet and his colorful socks up on his desk. Let me ask you something. Who do you want to go to battle with? Definitely not the guy on the left. Man, I salute that guy right there. Wonderful leadership that is being demonstrated in Ukraine. Big shout out tonight from Texas. Ben sent this in from Texas. He's watching. He made him a t-shirt. He says, I need ammunition, not a ride. And sending love tonight to Ukraine. And I know they tell me a lot of guys in Ukraine that still have access watch this because they just enjoy seeing your guys' comments and feeling the love and seeing stuff like this. So, hey guys, Texas loves you. The last thing I want to share with you is life goes on. This is all I'm going to say. This is what I've been waiting to get to. This is going to be a very powerful moment. Do not turn the stream off. This is about 2.5 minutes video, and then we're going to bless you and bless Ukraine. Once again, you can continue to support Ukraine at blwc.org, and we appreciate that. We're working together, and we're making a difference. I was contacted today by quite a few people, and it's just more and more people wanting to get involved. So thank you for that. But folks, as we close out tonight, I want to put I can't say a smile on your face. Challenging video here to watch, but I titled this, Life Goes On, Even in a War Zone. Life goes on, even in a war zone. This video will show a family being detained and checked to see if they're saboteurs. That's the only intro I'll give. Enjoy.
Досмотр, повний досмотр. Есть.
Перевіряємо.
Зброя є. Куди направляємо? Чому машина така грязна? Машина на штрафплощадку подводить, десь. Ви власниця? А ви хто?
Я все это видела во сне.
Нельзя, нельзя, нельзя стрелять. Стрелять нельзя! Горько! 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 Я права командира,
You think that'll mess you up? Life goes on, folks. Unbelievable. The family is leaving as refugees, and the guy in the military was going to ask the girl to marry him before the war broke out. He's now serving, defending the land, but he did not want her to leave as a refugee until he asked her to marry him. So his platoon pulled them over as it would be a security check. And of course, all the masks were up on their face and was doing the security check. And he popped the question. In the middle of a war zone, you saw the blocks and the protection and the barriers. Life goes on. May we also go on. Folks, that's what they're dealing with every day. And that is why we're going to continue to support them and love them. Thank you for all that you're doing. The numbers are growing phenomenally. I see everything over to the right. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Ben Failer, yes, sir, brother. Thank you. Let me tell him hi. Thanks, boss. Continue to like, share, and comment. And you guys are getting it now. As you can, move over to YouTube. Trust me, this Facebook thing's goofy, but I'm thankful for it. Today had many meetings, and just continue. What can you do? Give, pray, give, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors. Listen, if you want to know the truth and see where we're making a difference, flip on here at 9 o'clock each night. We'll be here. As you would say in the Russian language, my budem здесь до конца, и мы будем здесь до победы. And I will translate that for you. It says, we will be here until the end, and we will be here until victory. We'll see you in 23 hours. I got to put the number 23 right there. So that I know it's 23 and not 24. We love you, and we love Ukraine. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you. May he be gracious to you. Thank you for all that you do. May God bless you. And tonight, may God bless Ukraine. See you in 23 hours.